So hello guys, ako si Philip
Reggie.
at welcome sa isa na namang episode ng Liknayan Podcast. So ngayong linggo ay meron tayong very special episode in relation sa World Space Week. Meron tayong guest na galing sa Philippine Space Agency. So siya ay si Miss Keith Ann Cabello. Hi Keith.
Hello po.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome sa Liknayan Podcast at salamat sa pag-accept sa invitation namin. So siguro para masimulan na natin, siguro baka pwede mo kaming bigyan ng kwento kung paano ka napunta sa PhilSA.
Oh, okay. Siguro papakilala din ako specifically. So, hi everyone. I am Kate Ann Cabello. I am a project technical specialist from the Space Data Mobilization and Applications Division in the Philippine Space Agency. So, paano ba ako napunta ng PhilSA? Okay. So, basically, after I took up my BS sa UP. So, I'm a genetic engineer by profession. But during that time, very fortunate enough ako na yung curriculum ng DGE ay may remote sensing. Tapos, of course, I was also fortunate enough to be working with our country's best. Yes, country's best in terms of remote sensing. We call him remote sensing god. And ayun nga. So, ang pangalan niya ay si Director Ariel C. Blanco. Hello, sir. If alam niyo to, heart for you. And birthday niya, no, October 19. So, shout out.
happy birthday.
Okay.
Happy birthday kay sir.
Shout out.
So, ayun. So, si Director Ariel, naging advisor. Tapos, fortunately, I was able to work with him sa thesis ko, which is more on mangrove monitoring or mapping in general. So, meron na siyang project nung time na yon na using remote sensing, mga space data, ganyan.
Ay, wait lang. Kilala mo ba yung kambal ko? Parang familiar yung kinikwento mo. Parang ginawa ata yan ng kambal ko. Si Paul?
Sino to? Paul. Hala,
Paul.
sino siya?
Paul din. Paul Flores. Parang ginawa
Oh my God!
Parang part
Under ba siya ng DP?
Oh, nag-RA yata siya doon eh. Tapos parang yung ginawa nilang research na feature sa NASA na tungkol din sa mangroves sa Iloilo na yung
Oh
flood
my
project.
God! Isa sa mga test. Oh my God! Words colliding. Oh my God. Pero ayun, yung isang, kasi nasa under siya, may parang JICA project na in collaboration yung UP. Yung Blue Cares program. Under ba siya ng I am Blue Cares? Are you not familiar?
Hindi ko alam. Basta yung kinikwento mo na may mangroves, may satellite images, parang familiar ka kasi ginawa din yan ng kapatid ko, ng kambal ko.
Baka siya nga yun. Ayun, so may test sites sila around Visayas area. So meron sa Aklan. Alam ko may Iloilo din.
Oh,
Pero alam
siya nga.
Oh my God!
Ilonggo to eh.
Oh my God!
Sila.
Ang small ng world. I cannot. But yun. So basically, nawala ako sa Anyway, so basically, yun nga, nung college, I was doing mangroves. Tapos, doon ko na-enjoy yung idea na, ay, ang saya. So, we're handling satellite images. And in my knowledge, hindi ko alam na when you're handling satellite images, it's free. Akala ko all this time, kailangan mong magbayad. Of course, knowing my knowledge now, may mga commercial satellite providers, satellite image providers rather. Pero nung time na yun, looking back, sabi ko, I think this is a good career to have. Lalo na, alam ko yung remote sensing, it's been here since the longest time, mga 80s, 50s pa siya. But in a developing country like us, so syempre, yung people that knows the science behind it, I find it interesting. So, feeling ko kaya doon din ako napunta. But before that, nag-RA din ako kay Doc Ariel for a short time. Then later on, I was doing smart cities for the DOST project. Then later on, na-absorb ako nila Doc Ariel nung naghahanap na sila ng mga people, mga professionals na may alam or may idea sa remote sensing. So, nung time na yun, Dr. Ariel was parang mandated to be a director. So, si Director Ariel yung nag-handle ng mapping or nung space infrastructure aside ng ng PhilSA. So yeah, so here I am a year later. So last year lang ako na last year lang ako na napunta sa PhilSA. So yeah.
Oo.
Last year, okay.
Mhm.
So yung mga ginagawa niyo sa PhilSA mostly remote sensing yung sa'yo? Kasi 'di ba
Yes, pero
maraming mga
yeah, pero kasi ito rin, siguro fortunate enough din ako na napapadala ako everywhere representing PhilSA kasi we of course may kailangan man technical expertise. So when we talk about space infrastructure in general, it's not more than just the upstream. So mga tao ngayon ang iniisip, oh, pag PhilSA taga gawa ng mga satellites, ganyan. So that part or that aspect of the agency, it's what we call the upstream. So sila yung talaga nagde-develop ng satellites and also siguro curates the yung mga kailangan mong systems for a satellite to work. So right now in the agency, we're actually first ever, we're gonna launch the Mula satellite. So it's the first multi-spectral satellite. And it was about to be launched dapat this year, but because of, syempre, nagkaroon ng pandemic,
ano yung
ganyan.
tawag?
So, Mula.
First
Mula satellite. Oh my
multi-ano?
God. Multi-spectral.
Multispectral. So ano yung ibig
For land
sabihin nun?
assessment. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dapat alam ko to. But as far as I know, MULA stands for multi-spectral. Oh my God. Ba't di ko alam to? But yun na lang to. But basically, from the word itself, mula, nagmula. So, yun yung parang, yun yung story behind of it. So, what the agency is trying to do is, we want to have our own satellite. Hindi naman to yung first satellite natin, but of course, yung story behind of PhilSA is, ito yung first ever mission natin na it's gonna be led by an all Filipino engineer. So, meron tayong 25 engineers ngayon na nasa UK to create our own. So, very important siya kasi we've had a lot of like projects before PhilSA started. So, we have Stamina for Space, Phil Microsoft, the people behind Diwata 1, Diwata 2, and most of the other nano satellites. So, importante yun kasi before Mula, we've been hindi naman conditioned, but we've been seeking the help of other people on their expertise. So, very important si Mula for PhilSA to be honest kasi
Landmark na
it's a landmark. Yes,
ah,
that's correct. Kasi it's just a team of 25 people doing it na puro Pinoy. So yun yung medyo interesting. So I think siguro sila Dr. Adrian can navigate on that. So yeah, so of course, kapag nagkaroon ng images yun, kapag na-calibrate na, they've done all of their, so yung mga images na yun, definitely, mapupunta siya sa downstream, which is on my division, which sometimes, hindi alam ng mga tao na, ay, there's career in terms of doing this, like image analysis in general. So, yun yung medyo, parang vocation to other people when we talk about when they talk about kasi alam ng mga tao usually when I interact with kids, kayo yung gumagawa ng satellite. So yeah, oo kami yun. Tapos they don't usually know na parang, kayo yung nag-analyze ng syempre hindi naman nila alam yun. So, us on our end, we also want to know or to voice out na there's more than the building of satellites. It's very important, but there's a lot of it pa to be consumed by the people, which is the downstream side, yung nag-analyze ng satellite images for it to be consumed by the people. So yun, that's what I do.
pwede ba mag-bring up ng stupid question? Kasi kayong dalawa feeling ko familiar naman dun sa remote sensing.
Yes.
Kung paano ba gumagana yung remote sensing? Curious lang ako kung ano yung halimbawa wavelengths na
Ooh,
ginagamit doon. Radio ba yun or
yeah. Actually, there's a lot of, paano ba? It's, dalawa kasing ang hirap i-explain ito. But basically, when you say remote sensing, it's like you're trying to infer data from afar. So, from
yeah.
the other side, it's remote sensing. So, sa remote sensing, there's two types of data that we usually do. So, may optical images, and may mga SAR images. And those types of, images, rather, may iba't iba silang sensor na kakita. So, when we say optical, ang binabato mo on the object that you're trying to sense is light. Tapos yung babalik sa is is the behavior of the light, na kung paano siya nag-interact, or yung behavior niya during sa isang band siguro ng let's say RGB, let's say near, ganon. Then the other one naman is SAR, which is signal siya. Signal yung binabato niya. Tapos yung babalik sa'yo is backscatter. So, yeah, may different sila. Actually, very interesting to kasi when we do several studies sa division namin, there's only depende siya kung anong study. Let's say, kuwari, when we're doing DRR and may mga bagyo, we don't use optical kasi definitely when you see the image, it's all clouds. But
Exactly.
we use SAR kasi siya, cloud penetrating, kasi signal yung bumabalik sa'yo. So yeah, in a general note case, that's how remote sensing works. I hope na-explain ko siya ng maayos.
Oo, pati yung siyempre na-appreciate ko din yung yung use niya nga kasi bilang nasa Pilipinas tayo, alam mo yung gusto natin makita kung ano yung mga nasa ilalim ng dagat. Tapos, 'di ba, siyempre archipelago, so magiging useful talaga yung remote sensing sa pagta-track ng boundaries, pati pag-monitor ng mga gumagalaw na land.
Yeah.
Ganun. Tapos na-remind niya ako dun sa yung power ng James Webb Telescope kasi kayo naman familiar kayo na cosmologist ako. Yung usual kasi na instrument natin dati, or yung best instrument dati, which is Hubble Space Telescope and si optical. Kasi main power ng James Webb ay nakakita siya sa infrared. So
Infrared.
na-remind niya ako dun sa sinasabi mo. Kasi yung problem kasi sa optical, kapag yung light galing sa ibang parts ng universe, nagta-travel papunta dun sa telescopes, may mga dust sa path niya. Tapos yung mga dust kasi, binablock din yung optical eh.
Yeah,
So same
exactly.
yung sa sinasabi mo na, alam ba, kapag may atmosphere ka din ng bablock ng mga optical o nag-scatter din ng mga wavelengths. Kasi yung infrared nakakatagos lang sila eh. Kaya sobrang clear ng James Webb Telescope dahil sa similar na pag-utilize ng wavelengths.
Sinubaybayan ko yun.
Na-remind niya lang ako.
Backstory. Actually, yung screensaver ko ngayon, sobrang nerd. But anyway, we are all nerds, so let's embrace it.
Nerd
Yung,
tayo. Okay lang.
yung screensaver ko ay yung isa sa mga capture ng James Webb. Kasi may capture siya nung Hubble space. Tapos ngayon, it's clear. Tapos mas nakikita mo yung ibang galaxies in just one picture. So, yeah.
Infrared yung main power ng James Webb.
Yeah. Actually, pinanood ko yung I don't know if familiar kayo yun sa documentary sa Netflix, yung Unknown.
Hindi ko pa napanood.
Tapos, you should watch it. Parang
Parang
in-identify nila na it's yung mission na yun is 30 years in the making. Tapos they identified around 300 point failures sa pag-deploy pa lang ng James Webb Telescope. So, mind blown. Ang galing.
Ibang klase lahat ng alam mo lang na kapag may astronomical feat na nagawa, halimbawa sa SpaceX, sobrang dami niyang failures na dinaanan muna. Ibang klase yung team na nasa likod nun. Sure yan, 'di ba? Kasi
Madaming failures yan. Kasi di ba, involved lang naman sa science at research eh. Yung makikita mo lang yung success eh. Hindi makikita halos ng mga tao yung failures na pinagdaanan.
Wala lang. It's nice talking to you guys kasi when I talk about this stuff to people, hindi sila interested somehow.
Hindi kasi yung kami nga, alam mo yung halimbawa yung CERN ay 'di ba mga 70s.
Yeah.
Tinaguhid yung CERN. Tapos yung main purpose nun mula 70s ay hanapin yung Higgs boson, which is yung particle na nagpapabigat sa mga kapwa niyang particles. Tapos ginagawa niya, ito yung building blocks ng universe natin, bale. So, ayun yung purpose ng CERN is hanapin yun. Kasi 2012 niya lang nahanap, di ba? Which is, anong ginagawa niya nung
40.
Basta 40 years bago niya nakuha yun. Nagpa-fail ka lang continuously every attempt. Pati kahit nga sa gravitational waves, kasi syempre sumikat yung gravitational waves ng 2015 nung nakuha na yung first na signal galing sa nagbabanggaan na 2 black holes.
Yes.
Kaso actually yung unang operation ng LIGO is 2000s eh. Doon nila una inoperate kaso wala kang nakita, pure noise lang. So may years ng failure na pinagdaanan bago mapunta dun sa actual na.
Ang interesting kasi, share ko lang, ang go-to binge watch ko lagi ay Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon. So, just hearing people talk about CERN, yung mga super collider, Higgs boson, mga ganyan. Sabi ko, these are like, real people, like Sheldon, gano'n.
Natapos mo yung Young Sheldon.
Kaya ba yung topic naging, sorry, naging,
Sige, so balik tayo sa kasi 'di ba nasabi mo kanina 'pag sinabing PhilSA yung unang siyempre na naisip ng tao yung paggawa ng satellite, pero may part pa na na yung pag-analyze ng mga images, mga remote sensing, mga gano'n. So siyempre important na pag-aralan yung mga yun. So puwede mo ba sa'min ikuwento kung ano yung mga research na ginagawa niyo para sa pag-analyze ng mga images na nakukuha sa PhilSA at bakit important yung mga research?
big question. So, to be honest,
No
kakatalk ko
pressure.
lang nito. Kakatalk to lang. Anyway, okay, sige. Specifically on my division, of course, yun nga, si PhilSA naman may kanya-kanya kasi siyang key development areas. So, yung akin, I'm gonna talk about yung key development areas na meron talaga sa division ko. So, there's probably, of course, may national security, may, of course, space research, hazard management. Of course, there's a separate division that does national security. I'm not gonna talk about that kasi those people are very confidential people. As in swear. Anything that goes out, I mean, I've worked with them recently last month kasi they needed a resource person from my division na, magte-train kami na ganito, maybe you can share your knowledge. So, yung mga ganong knowledge, let's not talk about that. Okay. So, yung mga knowledge natin on my division. So, basically, yung division ko, absorb siya from ASTI. So, may tatawag na datos. So, si datos kasi, paano ko ba explain si datos? Oh my God, I'm so bad in acronyms. Datos is actually, syempre, search na lang siya. Pero yun yung more of the Earth observation data na pinaprocess namin. So, si datos is actually divided into sub-projects na marami. Marami. So, yung part nun is may client-facing side, of course, when you're doing this kind of big project, you have to talk about it. So, yun yung sasabi kong science communication. But of course, yung application side nun, we also do that. So, meron kaming sub-projects which are SACA, OneMap, Dharma, Opera. So yeah, that's the first 4. There's another one pero hindi pa siya functional ngayon. So those sub-projects, may kanya-kanya silang So when we say SACA, yun yung division yun yung project na meron ako. SACA is from the word itself, SACA, which is agricultural. So we do agricultural monitoring. OneMap is more of land cover mapping. Opera is more of the natural resources side. So when we say natural resource, we talk about yung mga mangroves, benthic, yung pagmamapa ng mga ganon. We're also, sa SACA on my end, we're actually much more specific yung studies namin eh. Kasi, of course, us, as a country, di ba, rice is already there. So may mga institutions na nag-headspear na yan, like PhilRice, IRI, but we have an ongoing MOA kasi with BAFE. DA BAFE. So, we are tasked to monitor or map din, rather. Map yung corn, yung onion, and also we're doing FMR. So, FMR is farm to market route. So, yung mga ganong sector. So, that's agricultural sectors. Meron din kaming actually Dharma. So, Dharma is actually as what I call, parang crowning glory. So, if you see yung PhilSA page, kapag nagkakaroon ng disasters, let's say may bagyo, so meron na kaming operationalized side kasi yun yung division ko, we operationalize data. So, whenever nagkakaroon tayo ng bagyo, we create flood impact maps from algorithm that we've created using AI and yung mga studies din before. So, we've actually in-enhance namin siya into much better algorithm to point na kaya na siyang mag-generate when karoon ng disaster. So, nandun na yung workflow namin. So, pag nagkakaroon ng disasters, naka-blue alert na agad si PhilSA na, okay, may ganitong disaster, what do? We try to task images na available. Then, kung ano yung mga available na images or like satellite images na may pass nun, fun fact yun din, kasi hindi naman, ang misconception lagi ng tao is, real-time ba ang PhilSA? So, we have to,
Yan yung tanong ko.
it's impossible to be real-time. We can say na near real-time kasi it's all very dependent to the revisit time of the satellite. So as a background na, when we say revisit, syempre yung satellites natin umiikot sa buong mundo, di ba? Tapos meron silang time na at this geographical location, ito yung day na magpapass siya ulit. So depende pa rin yun kung saan yung kung nasa what we say, kung anong date pala rather, nangyari yung instance. So, let's say, nagkaroon tayo ng bagyo.
Ay, wait
So,
lang, may
doon kami
basic question ako pala. So, di ba nag-analyze kayo ng satellite images? So, saan satellite
yes.
nanggagaling yung images na yan? Sa Diwata ba? Sa mga Philippine satellites? Or sa
Mm,
may mga partnership tayo sa neighboring countries
yes.
natin na may access tayo sa satellite images nila?
Nice question. I love this question. You know why? Kasi ang daming tatanong eh. Sabi, hindi naman sa atin yung
Dali-dali ka pala mo.
Di naman sa atin sa Okay, so basically we have a pool or like a constellation of satellites that we have. So itong mga pool of satellites na to, it's not just coming from us kasi ang sovereign satellites natin is we have Diwata 2. So Diwata 1 is already commissioned. When we say decommissioned, bye-bye na. Nag-ano na siya, di na siya function. So we have Diwata 2 and we have Novasar. So Novasar is not actually specifically galing sa atin, but we have a partnership within na 10% of that owned natin. So we have an ongoing partnership with that certain satellite na kaya natin ma-access kaagad yung data na yon. Now, aside from that, we have also yung mga commercial satellites natin. What do I mean by commercial satellites? So may mga private sectors na kasi tayo na they already deployed their satellites na sa mga space industry sila. If you know Seabridge, yung like sino ba yung mga gumagawa ng mga space anyway, but in general may mga private na tayo na gumagawa sila ng may deployed na silang satellites and yun yung business nila. So they're trying to procure us yung mga data na yun. So sample of those are like Planet, Black Sky. So yung mga businesses na yon, we also cater to them kasi ang point nun is daily sila nagka-capture. So for us, when we talk about disaster, maganda yon kasi kung meron kayong daily capture nun, it's a good way to run our code kasi nga we are trying to do an disaster management mapping ganyan. So that's one use case. So now kaya sinabi ko na hindi lang iisang satellite yung pinagkukuhanan natin kasi it's all depending to the resolution of the satellite. So when we say resolution, marami kasing types ng resolution. So we have temporal, as what I've said, temporal is like the revisit, gaano ba siya kadalas ikot. Meron tayong spatial. Spatial is kung, when you say yung pag zoom mo siya, gaano ba siya kadalaw. Spatial. Spectral, when we say spectral, I think this is what we've been talking about kanina, yung sa James Webb, tsaka yun, no? It's more of that. Gaano ba karaki, gaano kalaki yung spectrum na kaya niya makita. Kasi specifically on my study, that's very important kasi pag nakita mo yung isang agricultural patch na yun sa image, mukha lang naman siyang mukha siyang okay, forest yan. Pero when you do a spectral when you cater to a more a sat image na malaki yung spectral information niya, dun siya na differentiate. So it's really in a matter of use case. Then lastly is ano yung last na resolution. Hindi namin siya ganong but yeah, it really
Ano yung sinabi
matters.
mo? Temporal, spatial, and
Temporal,
then
spatial, spectral.
Spectral.
Actually, this is for, oh my God,
So,
Doc Ariel will die. So sabi, ba't hindi mo maalala yung isa pang type of resolution? I am so sorry.
kasi pwede ba mag-butt in? Kasi ako curious ako dun sa actual na resolution ngayon. At least yung best or worst kung pwede mo lang banggit. Alam mo yung spatial by 1 kilometers or yung temporal 1 day.
So,
Kung di mo alam yung numbers ko.
ang question mo ba, sir, is what is the best satellite? Is that your question?
Yung resolution ng best satellite or is it a case depende?
There's no best or
Yung
worst.
sila,
It's really use case. Depende talaga. Ang biggest quote namin dito is like si Hannah Montana, you can't have the best of both worlds. Ganon. So sorry. So let's say siguro use case ko na lang. Let's say for me, personally I'm doing onion mapping. So yung ang magandang gamitin sa onion mapping, since of course when you see a green patch in image, 'di ba automatically ay possibly forest siya or cropland kasi puro siya green. So for me, as a scientist who's doing remote sensing, I would gladly look into a satellite imagery na mas malaki yung spectral information. So an example of that is Prisma. So Prisma is actually na Italian satellite image provider. Ang bands nila is 256 bands, ranging from RGB hanggang SWIR, as far as I know, SWIR. Tapos to ano yun, sobrang dami niyang bands. So in those use case, mas importante siya kasi let's say ang crop sa satellite imagery, mahirap siya i-digest kung anong type of crop siya. Dahil lahat yan, puro green yan sa optical. I mean, I'm not saying na kung green yan sa visible and yung yung RGB. Puro green lang yan. But when you look into those kinds of information, you can actually separate those crops. So which is very an integral part when you're doing agricultural mapping. Now it's a different use case naman when we do DRR. So when we say DRR, kasi ang DRR naman is we want to get the information out as rapid as possible. Kasi kailangan siya ng tao. So we use na agad is SAR kasi we know SAR is penetrating to clouds. Hindi na agad siya sorry, naririnig niyo yun? May aso kami sa labas. They keep on fighting. I am so sorry, guys. But anyway, going back. So when we say naman on a use case, when we say DRR, we automatically digest all satellite images basta SAR. Dapat SAR siya. Kasi yun yung algorithm namin. So yeah, ang hirap
SAR, anong ulit
sagutin
yung
yung
SAR? Yun yung isang type ng
cloud.
ano?
Yung cloud penetrating signal siya.
Okay.
Kasi ang magandang tignan doon is nakikita niya kaagad yung land ng walang cloud. So yeah, ang hirap ang hirap ng tanong ni Sir Reggie kasi it's very yung brain ko parang gumagano kaagad kasi wala siyang best, wala din siyang worst. It's in the matter of what are you trying to do? What's your research? Anong gusto mo mapala. So that's why I'm really for me remote sensing is interesting. It's like yung kay grabe puro movies yung nasa utak ko. Yung sa Forest si Tom Hanks, yung parang life is like a box of chocolates. You'll never know what you're gonna get. So something like that. It's very kaya sobrang saya sa division ko. I mean, speaking for me, I don't know with my colleagues. Pero ayun nga, depende kung ano yung gusto nilang makuha or kung ano yung gusto nilang ipagawa sa amin. It's very
Yung naisip ko dyan, example may dalawang satellite. Yung satellite na to, mas maganda yung spatial resolution. Yung satellite na to, mas maganda yung temporal. Kung dadaan naman sila sa isang lugar, pero syempre at different times, diba? Pwede mo namang pagsamahin yung both.
Yes, that's actually also a good question. That is possible. We actually sometimes combine satellite images na at least in my research na experience ko na yun na parang we combine Landsat from the US and we combine Sentinel from the ESA, which is the European Space Agency, to perfect yung mga algorithms namin. So yes, that is also doable. You can do that. Depende talaga sa sa gusto mong science na makuha from that. So yeah.
May may isa pa akong curiosity kasi nung rinule out mo yung real-time analysis kanina.
Yes.
Ano yung pwedeng i-take for any agency to do real-time analysis? Hindi ko nga sure kung hindi ba yung NASA ay nakakagawa ng real-time analysis? What will it take? Lots of money, I guess.
Lots of money. Yeah, that's one.
Pati manpower.
Computing power din.
So I think that's a difficult question kasi if we have a built-in infrastructure, like if you're familiar with Himawari satellite, Himawari from the Japan. So ang kanila kasi, yung satellite nila is actually just there. Nandun na, nakatutok lang talaga sa kanila. I think that's one key factor to have real-time data, and also simultaneously validating that through ground infrastructure, which is ground sensors. So yun din, actually I want to tackle about this further kasi some of the di naman backlash, but some of the comments that we're getting is parang you're publicizing data, tapos sinasabi namin na it still needs validation. Yes,
Mm.
it still needs validation kasi there's only the agency can do so much. Hindi naman ako milyones na tao na kaya kung ako yung gumawa nung algorithm, ako din yung magva-validate tas buong Pilipinas. No, that's impossible to do when you're in the agency. So that's why integral din yung part na, of course, under pa rin to ng data. So we have a client-facing side project which is PINAS. So PINAS side naman, ang ginagawa namin si PINAS ay we empower citizen science. Kasi when we're doing science together, it's not just the scientist itself. You're putting the people into the picture para alam nila kung ano yung kung para saan ba tong ginagawa natin, kasi you have to make them feel that they're part of something bigger than us. So, yun. So, I'm gonna tackle naman Pinas. Oh my God. So, Pinas is still under data sa. So, marami talaga ginagawa yung division namin. Bear with me. But Pinas is the client-facing side. Think of it as like a school caravan. 'Di ba pag pupunta ka ng school caravan, ba excited yung mga tao kasi may bago kang uy, ano to, ganyan. So, that's what we've been doing with PhilSA. We're bringing PhilSA into different various places in the Philippines to tackle about what's the agency's objectives as a space agency, and you as a citizen, what can you do to help us? Kasi this is not just me project, it's a collaboration project. So when we put in citizens sa sciences na ginagawa natin, it just makes the data more reliable, more accurate. So, yun din gusto ko emphasize kasi parang iniisip nila na PhilSA is, huy, ang galing ng PhilSA, ganito, ganyan. No, it's not just us. We need people talaga to help us validate it. Lalo na we're a very young agency na they're asking na, ay, may regional offices ba kayo?
Exactly.
No, we
No.
don't have regional offices yet.
May
So,
nag 10 years old na bang PhilSA?
5 years old pa lang kami, sir.
Ayun nga, eh, sobrang bata niya talaga na agency. So,
Yeah, five
kailangan
years
Sobrang
old pa
bata.
lang. So we
mag-relate to sa international partnerships nga muna. Gaya nung,
Yes. So we just recently turned 5 years old last year. So 'di ba this month is World Space Week. So last month is the Philippine Space Week. So we celebrated yung Space Week here on our country kasi yun yung
Nandun ata si Frankie, 'di ba Frankie, pumunta ka dun?
How was it, Frankie? Hello. Sorry. Ngayon lang, nice to meet you.
Really great. It was really great. I was there. I really loved all the exhibits, and I loved how there were people from actual like space
Yeah.
schools who were there. So it really helped drive up interest. Something interesting though is that some of my friends who didn't even know it was Space Week ended up
Whoa.
there because it was in the middle of Gateway, diba? So the placing was very strategic, and they didn't know that there
Oh
were
my
schools
God.
for that, and the job opportunity. I like how it didn't just focus on what PhilSA has done, but also showed how you can get involved in space science,
Yeah.
whether it's through working or through studying. And that was, I felt, very, very helpful in the
Oh
push
my God.
for
Oh my God,
space.
napaproud ako. Kasi I know those people that really work hard behind the space. As in, grabe, they put in tireless of hours behind it. So, I'm really proud. Sabihin ko yun sa mga friends ko dun na nag-handle ng space.
Yeah, I have a few friends. They were
Yeah.
posting it on their story, especially di ba may
Yeah.
quantum skyway, skylight. Nilagyan nila sa story na, oh, MJ, ang cool nito. And like, these are people who are not involved in
Yeah.
sciences, didn't know na I would see their stories kasi nilagay lang nila eh. And I had some friends who are involved in science and they were like, uy, di ba ito yung Space Week na kinover mo last
Wow.
year? Mga ganun. So, both ways. People who knew and people who didn't
Frankie,
know.
do you used to work in PhilSA? Or not? Hindi naman.
No, but I have covered them in my previous
Wow,
web
that's
series.
cool.
Opo. Tapos dinay ko na rin po sila sa TikTok. And then, yeah, I can read some of the TikTok comments if you
Really,
want.
meron? Oh my God, dinadread ko yun.
Yeah. Wait, I'm gonna
Yeah.
look for it in my.
I think the question is Sir Reggie. While Frankie is looking at the comment.
Kasi na-remind ako kanina sa sinasabi mo, Kate, yung sa backlash sa pag-publish ng data.
Mhm.
Kasi psychomer kayong dalawa dyan, di
Yeah.
ba? Kaya ito nga yung kahalagahan talaga ng psychom din.
Yes.
Kasi di ba pag nag-publish ka ng data, halimbawa, na-share yung sentiment din namin ng isang Pag-asa guest dati. Kasi di ba yung Pag-asa yung mag-publish ka ng data, weather prediction, so sobrang komplikado talaga.
Yeah,
Tapos yung
exactly.
time scales, iba talaga ang geologic time scales. Yung pag-shift ng weather is biglaan. So prediction yung pwede mong gawin na best statistical kasi mag-hit or miss ka.
Yes.
Oo.
Tapos pag nag-hit ka, masaya yung mga tao kasi pag yung complication is kapag nag-miss ka kasi since yung yung at stakes ay yung buhay ng mga tao, yung mga gamit nila. So sobrang laki talaga ng backlash kapag miss yung prediction. Kasi yun yung best na pwede mo gawin as a prediction. Talagang
Actually,
i-forecast
ano nga
or
din,
forecasting.
parang once ko lang ata na-experience during my time. Feeling ko once pa lang during the PhilSA's time. Most of it, actually, there's this one time na, oh my God, sige, yung story behind it. I don't know if you're familiar na we also do landslide mapping ha. So kapag may mga ganon, if visible naman siya sa images sa satellite, we do that. But there was this instance in Mako, Davao de Oro na may mga bahay na may mga bahay na baon from the landslide. And now, since we are in Code Blue, we were trying to see all of the satellite images that we have, meron bang visit. And none of those, wala talaga. So, dito lumalabas yung power of the internet. It's because we specifically had this enthusiast lang siya, drone ano siya, dronerist. I don't know what's that, drone operator or like an enthusiast. Drone enthusiast, basta he flies drone. We also do that in the agency. Kasi kami din, nagpapalipad din kami. We also try to do our own validation as much as possible, but sometimes hindi siya talaga, no? But yeah, so there's this one time na nagpalipad siya ng drone. Tapos, yun yung nakita namin images na parang, oh my God, he took the entire capture na ano siya, as in zenith looking, when we say zenith looking, like 90 degrees. So that's a very good way to stitch your images. So yun yung maganda. So sabi, uy, I think we can use this. Yung mga colleagues ko dito, like shout out kila Dan and kila Dom and my supervisor, sila Sir Noel, they were thinking of it na parang, okay, this is of the utmost importance na kailangan may ma-generate tayo na mapa kasi may mga tao doon na nabaon sa landslide, like real actual people, their houses were covered with the mud. So fortunate enough, nagpaalam kami dito sa person na to. He was like a vlogger then as well. Sabi naman, can we use your video kasi it's
Ayos.
so from that, this is what we call space value data chain. Kasi from that, we were trying all of our resources to actually, come up with a solution na pwede natin ibato sa mga DRR on the ground. So kami naman, well, we're not expecting anything about it. We integrated our knowledge to it. Nag-JS kami. We tried to what you call that, parang digitize yung mga buildings na meron nun using the satellite images. At of course, yung mismong drone image. And we publicized it. And lucky enough, bigla kami nagulat. Wala kaming kasi may mga people naman na nag-send out ng mga mapa na ginagawa namin through several agencies. Tapos nagulat na lang kami, ginamit nila yung mismong data na yun in their operations, in their DRR. So yun yung mga instances siguro na parang sabi niya, may value pa din. It's more of looking into the brighter side of things rather than looking at this one small negative. Kasi yun naman talaga yung purpose ng what we do specifically as scientists na we want to push out rapid information, and we have nag-say naman na tayo na these are all up for validation, but this is our algorithm and I think it works pa rin naman. It encapsulates everything. So yeah, may mga ganun kaming instances, but of course, hindi naman natin pwedeng sabihin ng mga tao na ano mong ginagawa mo, taga-comment ka lang. No, hindi naman pwedeng ganun. So, it's like, it's still on the face of, face of adversity na parang sabi namin, at least these people is saying something. Ibig sabihin, yung algorithm natin can do so much better pa. Di, that's what we're doing right now. Pinapaganda namin yung data na yun. So, at least win-win pa rin yun, specifically for us. The fact that you validated our data is good enough for you. Good enough for us. So yeah. Kasi ako negative na person. Di rin, I mean, yun din yung maganda din sa sa agency, sa division namin. Hindi kami more of nag-aano do sa mga negative comments. Actually,
Oh.
once pa lang naman nangyari yun. Hopefully. Hopefully in the future. Ayoko mag-jinx, Lord. Wag.
Pero sobrang batang agency naman talaga ng PhilSA nga din. So,
Pero throughout sa lahat ng experiences mo sa PhilSA diyan, sa mga projects na na-involve ka, ano yung masasabi mong best experience mo?
Best experience. Actually, that's why I'm very passionate when I talk about PhilSA. Kaya nga sinasabi ko kay Sir Reggie before we hit record na I'm really nervous. It's because I feel like I'm representing PhilSA, who is, this whole thing. But yeah, na-realize ko na because of the experiences na meron ako, kaya ko pala siyang ituro. Kaya ko siya ituro. So right now, the division is actually also doing a lot of capacity building trainings na can be an integral part later on in our educational system. Kasi yun yung medyo downside din sa atin. Actually, when I talk about this, nagsistem ng maraming problems. So, feeling ko um, hindi lang naman to sa division or sa agency nangyayari. But the thing is, the expertise na meron tayo ngayon sa agency are lacking because nobody has knowledge about what's happening or what it's like to be in the space industry in general. So, yung na-realize ko this time na nasa agency ako na I'm also working with CESD, which is the educational side division of space. Parang ginagawa nila, they're trying to promote space science in general. And nung time na yun, they were trying to to get people na may experts na sa dito mga field na to. And I think yung important part talaga nun is you're trying to make people excited about space science in general. Kasi yun yung parang for me takeaway ko. That's the best thing that's happened for me, yung pinaka-exciting. I mean, marami nangyayari sa agency, to be honest. I'm so fortunate to be working in different projects outside din ng division ko. But what gets me excited when I'm talking about PhilSA is the ability na pwede mong ituro yung ginagawa mo sa ibang tao. Tapos, from that, para kasi siyang domino effect na there's this one time I was fortunate to talk about space data in kids. Tapos may iba din na I was fortunate to talk about space data in NGOs, mga ganon. So, iba't iba kasi siyang demographic. But the thing is, same pa rin yung goal nila. And yun din, may mga sad tayong realization na we're not yet there, but at least we're doing something. So, to be part of something like that is very great. Para siyang, yung nga sasabi ko, hindi siya mapapantayan ng kahit anong amount of
sobrang rewarding ng binabanggit mo.
Yes, exactly. That's the proper word, sir, siguro. Rewarding. Kaya siguro I chose to stay in the agency as well is because you get to see what effect yung meron yung agency sa Pilipinas, which is a very no amount of money, no amount of other jobs can quantify that.
Pati may realize mo yata ito, feeling ko, kasi 'di ba yung kapag may backlash ka, halimbawa you get 10 negative messages,
Yes.
yung one positive message beats all of that. Talagang sobrang ikikip ka niya doon. Sobrang ano.
Speaking of trolls and comments, I have the video.
Whoa.
I have the video. Okay, so I made several videos, but the video I'm going to talk to you about is I asked space scientists at PhilSA what they do. So parang fast talk siya. It got 138.7K
That's a lot.
views. And then so some of the comments there were payload specialists, Howard Wolowitz.
Yeah, big bang.
He's a big bang. So much intelligence in one video. Never knew we had a space agency. Kala ko need mag-abroad to
Exactly.
work in astronomy.
Exactly.
Bro, when I was younger, I dream of working here. TF happened to me. Someone else said, heroes. And then, what R&D progress have they made in PhilSA and the future? Would
Yeah.
like to work there. That's so
Mm.
cool, OMG. Salute to all of these men. Ito yung mga dapat sinasahod ng
Mm.
maayos sa gobyerno. So cool. And then, thank you for your service. Tapos ito, laugh tip ito. Pag astrology po, pwede mag-apply. Ngayon ko lang nakita ang comment na to ha. Magre-reply ako dito.
Oh,
Ano ang difference ng astrology at
grabe.
astronomy?
Grabe. Ang fun. Yun na nga, mainstream media says a lot, yung kay Howard Wolowitz, ganyan. Pero, yun nga, sobrang, when I talk about the space agency, number one always ay, hindi ko alam na may space agency tayo. That's the goal, actually. Yun yung lagi kong, well, advocate naman ako for promoting PhilSA in general. Of course, I work there. But of course, I love science. But yeah, pero ayun nga, yun yung feeling kong nasa part din ng side namin. It's because kami yung nagpo-promote of what space can do through this satellite derived products. That's why we do PINAS. So PINAS is what I said na client facing side, we go all around the Philippines pero hindi pa namin siya actually na parang meron na kapag Iloilo I mean, we've done several this year. Pero of course, ano pa rin yun, it's an ongoing effort. Actually, yung next Pinas namin is Bataan. And next year we're also going to Northern Samar. So nasa mga pumupunta na kami sa mga remote places. Actually, I was also fortunate enough to be part of yung isang Pinas na tawag doon is Pinas Caravan. So basically, it's like a simultaneous Pinas. Tapos tatlo kaming teams from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. We're doing Pinas simultaneously. Tapos the Mindanao team went to Tawi-Tawi. So, Tawi-Tawi side
Layo.
sila. Tawi-Tawi. Ang layo, grabe. Pero yun nga, yung sad thing doon kasi, yun din, yung napansin ko din na we have the agency but ang hirap mong i-communicate sa kanila yung data na meron ka when they don't have the infrastructure that they need. So, yun yung sad. Yun yung nakakasad kasi may time, yun nga, yung isang colleague ko yung pumunta sa Tawi-Tawi. Tapos para ang tanong sa kanila, para saan yan? Para, kasi may mga packages kami kasi pinapamigay. So, when we say packages, yung mga nagawa na namin mga mapa from PhilSA side, tapos binibigay namin sila as free sa tao. And they can use it to whatever they like na, ano. Tapos parang ang sagot nila is, wala kaming computer, sir. Wala kaming internet. So, yun yung mga sad realities din na you want to communicate or you want to do the science for them. But it's just that, wala silang built-in infrastructure uh, to to do that. So, feeling ko yun din yung isa sa mga goals din ng PhilSA is since meron tayo, the agency has access to data, mag-escalate siya into something bigger than us. Let's say, kung meron na tayong homebred solutions to, let's say, um, may mga resources management sila dun sa side na yon, may mga kung meron silang mga ganong problems na nakikita, yun din yung good thing when we're traveling kasi each each province that we do, Pinas, iba-iba yung mga problems nila doon, which is also interesting. Kasi let's say, when we go there's this one time, pumunta kami ng Zamboanga, Sambasulta area. We conducted Pinas there. Ang main problem nila, aside from the political stuff, of course, hindi natin kayang solusyonan yan because that's beyond us. Pero ang number one problem nila doon is they have shortage with fresh water. So, as a person coming from Manila, you don't know na may ganun silang problem. So, that's how interesting yung pinupuntahan namin places. Kasi let's say, ito sa Zambasuta, shortage ng fresh water. When we went somewhere sa Ilocos ata or sa Ilocos side, sa taas, ang problem naman nila is agricultural. Hinaharabas daw sila. Yung mga pananim nila ay within one day, wala na. Kasi may insects na or what we call pests na nagaano na ng ano. So, every place that you go is very unique. It's very different. So, yun yung maganda din sa division namin kasi when you get to be in the ground, you touch base with these people, you kind of tweak your solutions through it. And from that, you kind of build on kung ano yung infrastructure na kailangan nila doon sa area na yun. So let's say, sa Sambasuta, wala silang gaano magandang internet. So we have to build more of that ICT infrastructure, 'di ba? So, yun nga, aside from that, hindi lang talaga siya, PhilSA cannot stand on its own. It has to collaborate with a lot of agencies, inter collaborations, and of course international.
Interdisciplinary din kasi yung application ng ng pwede mong
Exactly.
gawin Kaya
Mhm.
masyadong malawak.
Tapos itong yung kinikwento mo makes me think back about yung manpower issue, pati yung resource issue. Kasi
Yes.
na-realize ko, pumunta kayong Iloilo, Tawi-Tawi, pati Ilocos din. 'Di ba? Kayo din yung pumunta.
Yes.
Tapos kasi sobrang diverse ng Pilipinas, may archipelago ito, may 7,000 islands. Kaya hindi pwedeng isang team lang yung pupunta
Yun
sa
na
lahat
nga
ng
eh.
yan.
Tapos
That's
kayo din yung gumagawa ng research, no? Parang lahat na lang, lahat kayo na yung
'di ba?
exactly. I mean, we've come to face the terms na we're a relatively small team. Yung team ko right now, the space data, before I went into it, we're only a team of 10 people. Imagine 10 people. Tapos right now, we're up to 16. So, yun nga, the problem with this is kaya kami din medyo saturated yung mga, like one people is doing multiple projects, I swear. Pero ang nangyari kasi, yun nga, it comes to the root na problem na, of course, pag nag-hire ka ng someone to do it, it's dapat may technical background ka. I mean, that's the harsh reality to it. When you're trying to um to have someone in the division, of course, kailangan at least, minimum siguro, of course, dapat may knowledge ka, you have a degree in mathematics, science, engineering. But I'm not saying na specifically what I generally do. Sa division ko, we're all genetic engineers by profession. But, hindi lahat noon ay puro GE. Siguro kailangan din siguro may base knowledge ka lang, but we believe naman with the idea na as long as yung person that does it has character to learn the science behind it, we're okay with it. So yun nga, I mean, from 10 to 16 na kami ngayon. So hopefully, syempre, it's also administrative issues then. Of course, we're a relatively young agency. Ano pa yan, medyo nasa HR side na. So, ayun nga, aside from yun nga, kulang tayo sa professional people na kayang gumawa nung syempre, administrative. So, yeah.
Since napag-usapan naman pala natin yan, so backtrack muna tayo ng onti. Anong mga specific skill set, yung parang bare minimum? Ano ba, kailangan ba marunong mag-code ng Python? Kailangan may working knowledge sa machine learning and so on? Kasi di ba may mga gagawin kayo na algorithms na i-feed nyo yung mga
Ako,
satellite images.
it's hard to say kasi firm believer ako na character weighs greater than basta siguro when you say minimum, siguro of course dapat college graduate ka. You came from specifically on my division, dapat either may background ka sa sciences, engineering, mathematics. I think that's enough. But when we say coding in general, machine learning, data science, of course for me nung time na ginagawa ko yung mga bagay na yun, I mean, I'm also a person who does not know that to begin with. And siguro magiging integral siya kapag may mga projects kami na kailangan na yung i-hire na person ay kailangan makapag-produce agad ng product. Siguro that's one realistic way of looking to it. But if we're trying to fill in positions na, let's say, nag-opening yung SDMAD, may division ng ganito. Siguro pag wala namang mga ganong certain types of situation, ako, as long as you have you're very curious as a person. Feeling ko kasi I've dealt with a lot of people, and the best people that I know ay yung mga taong they know that they're not the best or the smartest people in the room, but if they have the heart to do it.
Nag-a-agree ako sa lahat ng sinabi mo 1,000%. Gusto
Diba?
kong ibati na kanina kasi ang ganda ng sinishare mo eh. Kahit ako talagang yung pagja-judge ko ng mga tao, in terms of science is yung ayun nga nauna yung alam mo ba yung boundaries ng knowledge mo, are you willing to learn? Ito yung pinakamahalaga eh. Yung grit pati perseverance nga to learn than yung halimbawa yung kaysa yung kind ng tao na feeling niya alam niya lahat or hindi naman makapag-collaborate sa iba.
I also know a lot of people na ganun. Yung parang akala nila alam na nila lahat. I mean, oh sige, that's you, this is me, so let's just do our own things. Pero I feel like, feeling ko, biggest, yun eh, feeling ko hindi tayo magiging win-win situation na yun. Just halting the progress of science altogether if you're not willing to learn.
Exactly.
Exactly. Kasi yung science ay isang collaboration eh. Kailangan yung marunong ka paano magtrabaho kasama yung mga ibang tao.
I may add lang pala kanina tungkol dun sa point ng machine learning kasi avid user ako ng machine learning sa research ko, cosmology.
Yeah.
Tapos kung since bata naman yung PhilSA, I don't think, of course magiging useful gumamit ng machine learning knowledge lahat, but nagiging pinaka-useful kasi yung machine learning once you have lots of data. So alam mo kung nasa stage ka ng NASA or yung mas malalaking space agencies where you have you collect data real time, tapos talaga nag-accumulate. Diyan magiging useful yung machine learning kapag nag-handle ka ng sobrang daming data na talaga. But for the calibration stages, I guess yung mga basic skill set, siguro hindi pa top priority ang machine learning. It can be there, but madali lang din naman matutunan kasi machine learning eh. So practically a black box where alam mo yun, may button ka lang dyan sa tapat mo, press the button, get the answer, prediction ka with error margins. Ganyan ang machine learning eh. So you can apply it to any field, science, but yun nga sa paggawa ng forecasts, ng weather, and disaster, pag-assess ng disaster risks. Kasi yung black box yung machine learning, so madali yun matutunan talaga.
So I think yun lang ito kasi masyado na tayong madaming napag-usapan. So I think magandang point na yan para tapusin yung episode kasi na-discuss naman na rin na ni Keith yung mga advice para sa gustong pumasok sa sa PhilSA.
Yeah.
So yun lang. So kung nagustuhan nyo yung upcoming episode, huwag kalimutang mag-like, share at subscribe at see you sa next episode. Bye.